Mark and Paulette here, the two travelers in Mexico, and yes, Paulette is my personal groomer, apparently. Yes, you read the title right. We were robbed. While we were not home, we were in the U.S., but our home in Mexico was robbed. And we were still, so you can just imagine what it would be like to find out you were robbed and not actually be there to see it. However,
we were 2 days away from
right.
being home.
However, we had some very alert neighbors that alerted us to it, and we had some friends that came over and really checked it out for us. And
shout out to Wayne.
Shout out to Wayne, yeah.
Very good friend.
But thankfully, we have observant neighbors, and we are surrounded by a community that watches out for each other here, as well as our friends our expat friends that we also watch out for each other as well.
Right. Our neighbor walked by. That's how it started. Our neighbor had walked by and noticed that something just seemed a little off when she looked at our property. And so her husband sent me a message and said, your house may have been broken into. We're not sure, but we wanted to give you a heads up.
So we called our friend Wayne, who had a key, and he came over right away, really, after we asked him to come over. And he checked it out, and sure enough, our house had been broken into. They'd pried open the front gate with the somehow,
I don't know, screwdriver, some tool. When you're
they,
professionals, I guess you do whatever.
Right, and then they use some sort of a pry bar to break open our front door, and then just a bunch of force to, I think, probably kick it in, because all of the
door frame was
demolished on the inside. So
the key locks were removed.
Yeah, I think they
we had 2 deadbolts.
Broke those out.
And those were removed.
Right. But left laying on the floor. So, like I said, Wayne had come and checked it out and said, yeah, definitely the place was broken into. There was drawers pulled open, stuff dumped out on the floor. And you can imagine, what was going through our minds. Paulette and Mike immediately started thinking about, all her jewelry had been stolen, stuff that was deeply sentimental to her.
Yeah, and let me pause you right there. My jewelry is from a store called Brighton, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's higher end costume jewelry. It's ranges between $35 to $150 for a piece. I don't have a whole lot, but what I have is very sentimental, given to me for anniversary, birthday, Christmas.
Yeah.
From my daughter, from Mark, from friends. So it's very sentimental to me.
Right. And so we're thinking, what else has been taken? Did they steal our appliances? Did they take our furniture?
Right.
But Wayne confirmed that none of that had been taken. Just some of the drawers in our master bedroom, and I think the closets in our other guest bedrooms had been gone through. And
right.
Some of the contents dumped out onto the floor.
And 2 of our pillowcases were taken off of
the pillows,
our master room bed for them to use. I guess it's Santa, right? Santa Claus making his rounds early. That's what it sounds like to me.
More like bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
So we figured out, at least the appliances and furniture wasn't stolen, and there was no damage done to the inside of the house other than the door and the gate.
So we were truly lucky.
Right. So, however, we didn't know what else was missing until we got home. But we were, like I say, 2 days out from coming home as we were driving our car back. Paulette figured, her jewelry was gone. I figured, there's a good chance of whatever cash we had
thought
around
you left your Kindle in your
was gone.
nightstand.
I figured they had stolen my Kindle, which was in my nightstand. However, when we got home, much to our relief, Paulette was able to locate all of her jewelry as she had hidden it.
Well, I forgot I had hidden it.
Yeah.
I thought that I had it out in this red bag where they could easily see it.
Right.
But I forgot that when we moved from the apartment here, I took that red bag and I put it in a basket, and on top of that basket, when I was moving, I put some rugs and just some stuff, odd and end
Right.
things, and left it in my closet, never to have taken it out, which was awesome that I forgot about taking it out.
Yeah. So when we got home, it was later at night. We started going through the stuff. Paulette realized, like you said, that they hadn't gotten her jewelry.
I didn't realize that until the next day or so.
And then, of course, I still thought my Kindle was gone, but that was there too. It had just been hidden away. They didn't even take any of the cash that we had laying out. It was still laying there. It wasn't a lot. It was probably less than 100 pesos, but they left all that there.
Right.
And like they said, they appeared to have gone through some stuff. If they stole anything, I believe that they stole some quilts.
I can't figure out what they've stolen.
And maybe some other smaller stuff, because in the video they are seen leaving our house with one of the pillowcases, and there was obviously some stuff in it.
Yeah.
What it was exactly, we probably haven't discovered, and we might not.
Unless, of course, they had a fetish for women's clothing. That's very possible.
True. They might have been wearing some of your granny pants.
Oh, I don't wear granny pants. Stop it.
Okay. But nonetheless, it was all disturbing to us, to think that someone was in your place, and essentially felt kind of violation in a way. Pardon the water delivery truck driving by. So there was that, but I mean, all in all, we're not going anywhere. We love where we live. Our neighbors are fantastic. Our friends here are fantastic. We love Mexico, and you realize that break-ins can happen anywhere. United States, wherever. But we usually put out good stuff about Mexico and our life experience. Well, this falls into the life experience. Bad experience, but not as bad as it could have been.
Right. I mean, it's going to cost us to repair, the gate, how they,
right,
tweak that.
Right.
We had to get new locks in our door, new framing, all that sort of stuff.
And we're going to have to rethink the whole gate locking mechanism so that it can't be pried open.
Right.
And things like that. So we're going to have to take some steps as far as that goes. But we just wanted to let you guys know that robbery does happen here. Thankfully, in our case, it wasn't too bad.
Right.
But we were still robbed, and there's still all of the emotional things that go along with that. To know that someone had come into your house, and looked through your stuff, while you weren't there, and the helpless feeling that you have when you're still 2 days driving.
2 days.
Away, but thankfully we have friends here. Again, shout out to Wayne, that he came and looked over the place, and he worked with our contractor to get the door locks reinstalled, different door locks installed on our doors. So
and luckily, sorry, go ahead.
We're just truly grateful and appreciative of our neighbors that live here where we do, and of our expat friends that we have here. That really warms my heart, because it's in times like this when you find out who is going to be really helpful. But everyone people that we don't know reached out to us.
Well, okay, let me take over on this part. We have a community like WhatsApp group in the area that we live. And my neighbor put out there what had happened to us. And again, nobody really knew the full extent of it, but he put it out there right away, which I was appreciative for. And, you know, tons of neighbors were commenting and making suggestions and, I mean, just really supportive, reached out, a lot that we don't know. On each side of us, we do have neighbors, Mexican neighbors that do speak English very well. They each have dogs, and you could hear dogs barking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those two guys that came into our home came on a Sunday afternoon, mind you, broad daylight. These two happened to be gone.
The neighbors.
Yeah. At the same time when this happened. Now, whether it was a random thing, I don't know. I heard through our neighborhood watch community thing that we have that somebody else like 2 blocks away had been robbed recently too in my area. Somebody else had sent me some videos on the same car, same guys. And I guess it was people that had it on their video security cameras that are putting out there to try to catch these guys.
Because we have our break-in on video, which lasted, they were in and out in less than 5 minutes. That included breaking through the gate, breaking through the front door, going through the house, going through stuff, and then leaving again.
Right.
So I don't know, you know, and that's typically how that happens, is they're in and out pretty quickly.
Right. And luckily our neighbor has it on his camera. So that was a real plus. And again, it was the same car, same 2 guys that are hitting up different communities.
Right. It's 2 guys plus a driver. I think there's someone stays in the car as a lookout.
Right. Because the 2 guys get out from the back seat.
From the back seat, yeah.
So, and I've heard, you know, that what they do is that they go up to the home, ring the doorbell a couple of times to see if somebody's there. And once nobody answers,
then they break in.
Yeah, it's game on for them.
Right, and they're in and out quickly. You know, even if people that do have alarms, you know, the cops aren't going to show up in 5 minutes or less. They're in the house for a very short period of time.
Right. So, you know, thank God for my procrastination on leaving my jewelry in that basket covered with some rugs. But again, you know, Mark and I have been through a lot of stuff, and we can't see a lot of stuff in our home on what could have been taken, and we can't see really much of anything.
Right, like I said,
that was taken. It was just one pillowcase.
Well, the pillowcase. Obviously, there was stuff inside the pillowcase. I think they took a quilt or 2, maybe some bedding. That was about
crazy.
It. They didn't really steal anything of value.
Right, and thank God that they didn't, you know, destroy anything but the front door in the process and tweak our gate.
Yeah.
But you know, you guys, like Mark said, this could happen anywhere at any time to anybody. You know, I'm not afraid of, you know, them coming back. Why? They didn't get anything, right? They probably thought, oh man, what a bummer, we broke into this house and there's nothing good to steal.
And I'll be walked away with some granny panties.
Granny panties? Stop it.
Okay, we don't know that for sure, I'm just guessing. So maybe they're fetish burglars. We are just mystified because they didn't really take anything of value. They could have stolen our TV, our DVD
and they
player.
didn't.
So
our Magic Jack, our Fire stick,
Yeah.
you know, the TV.
Right, but they left all that.
They left all that. So I don't know, just bizarre. But we're really hoping that they will get caught, because there is many videos out there
of them, the same
circulating.
people, the same car.
Right.
Right. Oh. All right. So for now,
As always, from the two travelers in Mexico.
what she did.
Bye, guys.
Bye.